All right. Yeah, tape showed kind of how I felt right after the game. All three phases came through for us when we needed it, and made some major plays and helped us earn that victory. And so that was fantastic to see. And yet there's still a number of things that we can clean up and get better at, and that's the encouraging thing going forward as well. But really proud of all the guys, players, and coaches being able to come through like that and carry that momentum hopefully into these next two games and finish this season strong for us. So with that, I'll go ahead and open it up.
Go ahead, Pat.
Hey Ben, you've been saying for a while now that you thought 11 wins would get you in. It got you in last night. What was your reaction? And also, what's the message now in the final 2 weeks?
Well, yeah, I mean, our step number one was to get to 11. And the whole reason why that was the number, there's really only been one 10 win team not to make it, and that was last year, Seattle. There's never been an 11 win team to not make it. And so that was we felt pretty good about that being the number going into the season. That was step one. Step two is we want to win this division. We want to have at least one home playoff game, and then step three would be clinching number one seed. So there's a lot of things still out there to play for. Our guys know that. We talked about it a few weeks ago, just a big picture view of where we stood in relation to the last five games of the season and what we need to accomplish to achieve those goals. And so they get it. Not a whole lot needs to be said about it. Those goals are still out there, and we continue pressing forward. Like I said, we're still not, necessarily playing at the level that we're capable of yet. And so, I mean, that's the beautiful thing about this season, and we're all still getting better at what we're doing. There's a number of things that I could have done better in the last game, and a number of our players would feel the same way and tell you the same thing as well. So that's the fun part of what we do.
What do you think of the last 30 seconds of that Lions game?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild to watch that one unfold. It goes from Pittsburgh missing the field goal to Detroit taking it all the way down there and having a chance. And it's it should, that's this league, right? I mean, that's what makes it so much fun to watch. And I know it's a tough way for them to go out at home, and I feel for a number of those guys. I'm still fairly close with a number of them, and yet that's how this game goes sometimes.
Dan?
Ben, the sequence preceding the 2 minute warning on Saturday night, I was curious your assessment of kind of the conversations, the process, the operation of everything that led up to that.
Yeah, we got the ball back, and I can't remember how much time there was, but down by 10 and called around 5 minutes and a couple timeouts left. And we understood how quickly we needed to score. And ideally, when you're down by 10 like that, um, the simple thing is, hey, we can get the field goal and then the touchdown. But in all reality, you want to get that touchdown on the first possession as often as you possibly can. It's just when you look at these around the league over the course of 10 plus years, it's your chances of scoring a touchdown are a lot easier on the first possession than the second possession, and so that's the intent going into it. I think we operated fairly quickly, but yet the number for us, we really want to score before a certain threshold. We didn't quite hit that, so we knew at one point we're going to have to end up going with the onside kick and hope for a recovery there. Um, what I'm not pleased with is I think it was 2:44 left, and I think we could have handled that third down into fourth down better as both an offense and a special teams unit. And that's an area that's on me. That 100% falls on me. I got to do a better job coaching that with all the players involved, all the coaches involved, and I think we'll be better for that going forward.
What needs to go smoother in that sequence?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't want to put our field goal unit in that situation to start with the clock running like that. So ideally, that third down throw is either past the sticks or it's clearly going to be out of bounds to where we're not having a running clock and we're forcing our field goal unit out there. And then I can do a better job communicating that we need to kick that thing as quickly as we possibly can. With that being said, they're getting the K ball in there. At one point, that thing was fumbling around on the ground, and the umpire stood over the ball for a longer period of time than I had hoped for. And so we weren't able to get the kickoff nearly as quickly as I had kind of foreseen in my head. And so a number of things happened there.
Courtney?
Ben, how much are you acknowledging the postseason with the team now that you've clinched the playoff berth?
We'll briefly just, hey, that's step number one, just like I talked about with you. And like I said, there's a million things that we got to continue to work on, and we're still playing meaningful football right here and right now. And so, I felt that crowd, and I was so blown away by the impact that they had on Saturday night that I think all of us are going to feel like we want to be playing a playoff game in front of them, and so that they can have that same impact there. So that's really going to be our focus. Is we got to win this division to earn that right to play a home playoff game, and we have a chance to do that here over the next couple of games.
And you mentioned on Saturday not wanting to expose Jade to waivers, have somebody else claim him. Like during the process of OTA's training camp, like when did you know he was like a legitimately serious candidate to make the 53?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're intrigued when you acquire him by the size and speed combination, and he ended up being, mentally really, really sharp, and so he's able to pick up the offense quicker than I think some rookies usually do, and that's encouraging. He's a willing participant in special teams and in blocking, and so that raises his value right then and there. And so, I wasn't sure, what's he going to become in this league? That's still a little bit unknown. I think he's got a really high ceiling, and he's got a chance to really develop into an excellent receiver and be a meaningful player for a long time. And so I think Ryan felt the same way. We all did as a staff, and it was just when you find guys like that, you don't want to lose them, particularly after you invest all that time and energy into getting them game ready, like he's been really all year long.
Bill?
Thank you, Ben. I know during the post game you mentioned the penalties. There were 10, and I want to know what you attributed those to. Maybe some of the guys being amped up.
Yeah, yeah, I think that might have had something to do with it. And we talked about you get in these big games, and you can get a little bit emotional because it's a division rival, and you want to make an impact. And we don't want to shy away from that. We want to play aggressive, and we want to be a very physical team. But at the same time, we can't hurt the team, and that happened a number of times, and it's not okay. Those 15-yard penalties, they really add up. I think we ended up having four of them on the game, and uh, I talk about Booker's, against Jordan Love, and that's 100% a flag where he ends up getting concussed, and it's not what anybody wants. All right. But at the same time, that one is a more difficult one to coach just from a technique perspective because we're trying to go after the quarterback, and it's a bang bang play like that. All the other 15 yarders, as far as I'm concerned, those are all preventable and at times egregious. We can't do that.
And then second question, uh, I know when you were planning this, obviously every first year coach wants to make the playoffs, but did you envision these games would unfold the way that they have, like some of these kind of chaotic to the finish fourth quarter comeback games? Did that enter in your mind, like just the manner of some of these wins?
Well, I mean, I think we all prefer to have the lead going into the fourth quarter if we had our druthers, but it's just not the way it's gone for us this year, and yet the guys are still finding a way to come out on top, and so no, I think this is an important thing, though. I think you want to be a clutch team. I think you want to be able to handle the pressure and rise to the occasion, and I think we've got a team built like that. There's guys on offense, defense, and special teams that they rise up and they play their best at the biggest stage and in the biggest moments. And so I think that's really important. I think that's a great quality to have as a team and as a locker room. And certainly when I came in, it felt like in previous years having competed against this team, those we didn't win those type of games. And so to see that shift in our favor, I think that's a great thing. And like I said, we can still get better to the point where we're not putting ourselves in those situations as much and go into the fourth quarter with a lead and potentially close out games that way.
Jason?
Hey, Ben, two questions for you about your defense. The guys have been in and out all year, but you are pretty close to having your starting lineup out there right now. What do you think you guys can accomplish in the next couple weeks to have that ready for the playoffs?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think we are getting healthier and healthier. It was good to get Tremaine back. He was knocking off just a little bit of rust. Jalen keeps getting better each week. Grady's a guy that has played some really good football over the last month. He keeps ascending, and he's coming off a minor injury there earlier in the season. And so, no, you do feel the health starting to return to us. Be great to get Kyler back potentially in the postseason as well. There's a number of players that I think can really help us down the stretch. And so, DA's done a phenomenal job creating game plans that give us a chance to win week in and week out. And I think he did that again last week. You look at what's going on, and yeah, we're giving up some yards, and yet we knew all along that our red zone defense was going to be a huge key of us winning that ball game. And there you go. You look up at the stat sheet at the end, and we hold them to 5 stops down there in the red zone. And so I think it's the combination of our players coming back and being healthy, great understanding of the scheme, and really the intent of what we're trying to do each and every week.
How much has Montez played into the defensive improvement? And also, you just mentioned Kyler. Is that realistic?
Yeah, we'll see where it's going. It was he'll be down for 4 weeks, and we'll kind of assess it as we go here. But we were always hopeful of that. But Tez is a guy, I think since the bye week, he's playing some of the best ball of his career. He would probably tell you the same thing. He's one of our most consistent run defenders. Um, and he's been racking up slowly but surely a sack a game, it almost feels like, since the bye. And a guy that we can consistently count on to win one-on-one matchups and pressure the quarterback. And so I feel really strongly about the way he's playing right now. I feel really strongly about the person too. I love seeing him in the building. He's one of the many that they haven't really experienced what we're experiencing right now, where it's not just winning football, but a chance at the postseason and playing meaningful games down the stretch like this.
Kevin?
Hey Ben, early in the fourth quarter, Caleb had that intentional grounding. I know he doesn't want to take a sack there to push Cairo back. What was the coaching point in terms of what he how he could handle that better?
Yeah, well, it starts with the protection. There was no reason for us to be leaky in protection, as far as I'm concerned there. So we got to do a better job with our communication up front, quarterback, running back. That's where it starts. Beyond that, we had an outbreaking route to OZ, and Caleb was under the impression that as long as we have a receiver outside of the numbers, we can throw that ball out of bounds and they'll deem him within the vicinity. The official on the sideline did not feel like OZ was outside of the numbers when we were throwing that ball. So, yeah, we don't want that to happen. And certainly in weather like that, every 5 or 10 yards makes a major difference in terms of us being able to hit that field goal. And so don't want those. Number of things we can do better there. And thank goodness we have Cairo.
And then, kind of on the topic of the Packers, if they got a free runner every once in a while through there, the play to Jade, the touchdown, when you went back and watched it, what did you like about just the way that Caleb was able to adjust, saw what was coming, and know kind of where to go, considering how that had gone all game?
Yeah, I think I said it after the game. Third down, he gave us cover 0. And I wasn't sure if he was going to do it again or not. He did it again on fourth down, and Caleb was ready for it. He drifted away from the unblocked player. When teams go cover 0, what that means is they're going to bring one more than you have in pass pro. And so there was going to be a free runner, and Caleb recognized it, drifted away from it, and went to our cover 0 answer on that play.
Last one, Adam.
Hey Ben, two questions for you here. When you went back and looked at the onside kick, what did you like about the execution and the effort just across the board, especially with your coverage guys there? And then with everything that Josh Blackwell does for you on special teams, like how would you just describe his value and his place in your success as a team overall?
Yeah, well, I think with the onside kick, I think you got to start with Coach Hightower. He does a phenomenal job each week, drilling that play and making sure we're prepared. And so all of our guys were dialed in. They knew what we're doing. Cairo had an excellent kick. He made it very difficult on their side, and we came through. I thought we executed at a really high level, and like you said, Blackwell was able to recover it. Was talking as a staff yesterday, just man, what does Blackwell, what does he look like relative to the league? We feel like he's one of the best special teams players in the NFL right now. Whether he gets that recognition or not, publicly, I don't know, but yet we think he's an invaluable piece of our success as a team, our special teams unit as a whole. He's really found quite a niche there.
All right. Thanks so much, Coach.
Yep, thank you.